हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल CodingZilla। तो फ्रेंड्स, आज मैं आप लोगों के लिए लेकर आया हूँ एक नया टॉपिक रिएक्ट जेएस का, जो कि है प्रॉप्स एंड कॉन्स। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो दोस्तों, जैसे कि आपने कंपोनेंट्स के बारे में सुना था, कंपोनेंट मैंने आपको बताया भी था, पिछले वीडियो में बताया था इंट्रोडक्शन में उसके कंपोनेंट्स क्या होते हैं। तो कंपोनेंट्स इज़ द हार्ट ऑफ द रिएक्ट जेएस। तो रिएक्ट जेएस जो भी बनी हुई है पूरी कंपोनेंट बेस्ड है। तो आज हम उसे डिटेल में जानेंगे। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। कंपोनेंट्स आर लाइक जावास्क्रिप्ट फंक्शन, दे एक्सेप्ट आर्बिट्ररी इनपुट्स कॉल्ड props and the return React element describing what should appear on the screen. React.js is a highly used open source JavaScript library. It helps in creating impressive web apps that require minimum effort of the coding. The main objective of React.js it is to develop user interface UI that improve the speed of apps. Advantage of React.js: easy to learn and use. React.js is much easier to learn and use. Any developer who comes from a JavaScript library background can easily understand and start creating web apps using React in a few days. It is the view part in the MVC model view controller model and referred to as one of the JavaScript framework. It is not fully featured but has the advantage of open source JavaScript user interface UI library, which help to execute the task of better manner. Creating dynamic web application is easier. To create a dynamic web application, especially with HTML string, was tricky because it requires a complex coding. But React.js solves that issue and make it easier. It provides less coding and give more functionality. It makes users use of the JSX JavaScript extension, which is a particular syntax letting HTML code and HTML tags. Syntax to render particular subcomponent. It also supports the building of machine-readability codes. Reusable component. React.js web application is made up of the multiple components, and each component has its own logic and control. These components are responsible for outputting a small reusable piece of HTML code, which can be used whenever you need them. The reusable code helps to make your apps easier to develop and maintain. These components can be nested with other components to allow complex application to be built of simple building blocks. React.js uses comes virtual DOM based mechanism to fill data in HTML DOM. The virtual DOM works fast as it only changes individual DOM element instead of reloading complete DOM every time. React.js improves performance due to the virtual DOM. The DOM is cross-platform and programming API which deals with the HTML, XML or XHTML. Most of the developers faced the problem when the DOM was updated, which slowed down and performance of the application. React solved the problem by introducing virtual DOM. The virtual DOM exists entirely in memory, and it is a representation of the web browser's DOM. Due to this, when we write a React component, we did not write directly to the DOM. Instead, we are writing virtual component that React will turn into the DOM, leading to smoother and faster performance. The support of handy tools. React.js has also gained the popularity due to the presence of the handy set of tools. These tools make the task of the developers understandable and easier. The React developer tools have been designed a Chrome, Firefox extension and allow you to inspect of the React components hierarchies in the virtual DOM. It also allow you to select particular components and examine and edit their current props and states. Not to be SEO friendly, traditional JavaScript framework have to issue in the dealing with SEO, and the search engine generally having trouble in rendering JavaScript heavy application. Many developers have often complained about the problem. React overcome this problem that help developer to be easily navigated on various search engines. It is because React.js application can turn on the server, and the virtual DOM will be rendering and returning the browser as a regular web pages. The benefit of having JavaScript library ReactJS is choosing by most of the web developer. It is because it is offering a very rich JavaScript library. The JavaScript library provide more complexity to the web developers to choose the way they want. And scope of the testing and codes, React applications are extremely easy to test. It offers a scope to where the developer can test and debug their codes with the help of native tools. Disadvantage of the ReactJS, the high piece of the development. The high piece of development has the advantage and disadvantage both. In case of disadvantage, since the environment continuously changes so fast, some of the developers not feeling comfortable to relearn the new ways of the doing things regularly. It may be hard for them to adopt all these changes with all the continuous updates. They need to be always updated with their skill and learn new ways of doing things. And poor documentation, it is another concern with common for continuously updating technology, React technology updating and accelerating so fast that there is no time to make proper documentation. To overcome this, developer write instruction on their own, which the involving of new release and tools of their current project. Viewport React overcome only the UI layer of the app and nothing else. So you still need to choose some other technologies to get a complete tooling set for development in the project. JSX. ReactJS uses JSX. It's a syntax extension that allows XHTML with the JavaScript mixed together. This approach has its own benefit, but some members of the development community consider JSX and barrier, especially for new developers. Developers complain about the complexity and the learning curve. तो फ्रेंड्स, इस वीडियो में हम यहीं तक रखेंगे. अब हम मिलेंगे किसी नई वीडियो में. एंड तो दोस्तों, आप लोग चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए, लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को जोड़िए, जिससे हमारा उत्साह बढ़े और हम आप लोगों के लिए इसी तरीके के नए नए टॉपिक्स लेकर आते रहे. अभी हमारी रिएक्ट जेएस की सीरीज चल रही है. फिर रिएक्ट जेएस के एमएनसीज के क्वेश्चंस कंप्लीट करेंगे और इंटरव्यू के प्रिपरेशन कराएंगे. उसके बाद हम प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे. ठीक है, तो इस तरीके की हमारी सीरीज अभी आने वाली वीडियोज़ में आने वाली है. तो आप लोग चैनल पर जुड़े रहिए और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए. मिलते हैं किसी नए वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए ओके, बाय बाय.